We are tracking yet another tropical system, and we are looking at beta tonight, really weakening, it looks like. Now, the winds haven't changed, but just looking at the structure of it, it almost appears at this point it's kind of falling apart. The thunderstorms really aren't building at the center. We saw a little flare up of that earlier today, but it's just not really looking at that like that right now. And even our rain is beginning to diminish a little bit. Here we go. There are those high cloud tops earlier, but those have kind of diminished and kind of tracked toward the north. That's not to say it's not still a tropical storm. The winds are at 60 miles per hour, but a few of the things that I was pointing out with the new forecast path and looking at many of the latest model runs coming in is that it may not strengthen that much more because of the dry air and the shear that has been keeping it so lopsided with the center down here, but all of the rain displaced off to the north and northeast. So now the new path, if you missed it earlier, is taking it a little farther inland. So that would be a good thing. It puts it farther over land, away from that fuel of the warm waters of the Gulf, so that it would be probably weakening a little bit earlier. Could be a depression by late, Wednesday evening, this particular path says, and then by Thursday it might have become a low pressure area. So that could still change. There is uncertainty with the system, especially since it's not really staying strong at this point, but right now that's kind of how it's looking. So those would be good things. And then also on live radar, you can see the showers moving in, but another good thing is that it's not extremely heavy in any pockets right now. It has been steady and a bit more moderate along the coast where there have been some higher totals. That is off of the coast over the Gulf, that near 6-inch radar estimate. But other spots have seen about a 1/4 inch to about an inch or so for most of our other spots inland, just a bit removed from the coast. Here are some of our totals today. The highest, no surprise, close to the coast, and then New Orleans about a 1/2 inch to an inch or so, and many other spots seeing about that and lesser amounts off to the north. I want to point out the water vapor imagery clearly showing the dry air wrapping into this system in these reds. This is our loop of the mid-levels of the atmosphere showing the moisture content, and there's just so much dry air. So as this gets pushed, which I'll show you in a second, to the west near Texas, it may continue to weaken if it has this dry air and still some shear present. So this is the thinking with the upper level winds and where we think it will go. Here is a ridge of high pressure building in. You can see the circulation around that directs it to the west. So it's kind of been hovering today, but as this happens tomorrow and into Monday, it'll go to the west, it looks like. And then after that, the high will retreat a bit and we will get this trough of low pressure to bring it out to the northeast. So then this is our forecast track showing by Wednesday and Thursday, it may no longer be a named storm, but just some low pressure perhaps over northern or maybe central Louisiana. So we'll see how close it gets, but here we're actually still continuing with a similar forecast to what we saw today with rain, coastal flooding, and gray breezy conditions and not as hot. Coastal flood advisory due to these strong prolonged east winds continues until early Wednesday for those 1 to 3 foot higher tides. Our rain forecast shows the blues about an inch or 2, the purples about 2 or 3, and then reds and yellows going higher. So we will see this could change, but it does look like we'll continue with rain. The flooding threat, though, does look a bit lower since today it was a nice steady rain for a lot of inland spots, and then into Monday even just a marginal risk, not extending into inland areas, but more so off to the west of us and especially off to the southwest Louisiana areas. So that would be good for southeast Louisiana. It's still breezy though, so we'll continue with the mild conditions, the breezy conditions, and the rain probably through the beginning or even middle of the week. We're in the 70s. Our high today was 75. Lows tonight north and south in the 60s to about 70. And tomorrow will likely stay in the 70s again with breezy conditions and maybe a couple of heavier pockets embedded near the coast. This is tomorrow morning. Fast forward to tomorrow afternoon and evening, we may see a lull in the rain, perhaps. We could also see some sprinkles then. Monday morning, on through the day Monday, you can see the rain chance is still there. And then Tuesday, this particular model begins to dry us out a pretty good bit. In the rest of the tropics, by the way, we no longer have Alpha, but we do have Wilfred and Teddy. Wilfred probably will weaken soon. Teddy is headed toward Bermuda. It's strong, a major hurricane, and then could continue toward maritime Canada later, although it would likely be weakened by then. Our 7-day forecast shows the rain chances going downward by Tuesday, and we'll see if we can decrease them a bit more as we head toward the end of the week and certainly into next weekend.
The green wave had a second half collapse for the